You wake up already carrying weight nobody warned you about. Not the pinchable stuff, but the fat wrapped around organs, the kind wrapped around your liver and heart right now. Here's what almost nobody tells you about mornings. You get a short biological window after waking up, somewhere around 90 minutes, maybe less some days. In that window, your body decides something important. Burn that deep fat or lock it away. The question is whether your habits close that window. This isn't a trend, it's basic human biology working. Your hormones are already moving before you've had coffee. Most people think belly fat is about willpower alone. Eat less, move more, watch the number drop. That's the story we've all been told forever. But if you've dieted before, you know the truth. You lose 10 pounds and your belly barely shifts. You lose 20 and it's still sitting there stubbornly. That's not a broken metabolism or weak discipline problem. That's your body protecting something on purpose, deliberately, consistently. Fat isn't one simple substance stored in one place. There are two very different systems at work here. Subcutaneous fat is the kind you can pinch. Your body releases this fairly easily when you diet. It's visible, it jiggles, it isn't tightly guarded. Visceral fat is the other, more stubborn account entirely. It wraps around your liver, pancreas, and other organs. Your body treats it like a locked emergency vault. Some researchers describe people who look lean but aren't. Slim frames can still carry dangerous internal fat levels. Their health risks can resemble someone carrying more weight. The visible belly isn't always where the real danger sits. Visceral fat behaves like an active, communicating tissue itself. It releases compounds tied to inflammation and insulin resistance. It quietly influences risk for several chronic conditions over time. So why does your body protect this fat so fiercely? The likely answer traces back to human evolutionary history. For most of history, food wasn't always guaranteed daily. Visceral fat served as a reserve during hard seasons. It kept ancestors alive through famine and harsh winters. Your body still runs on those ancient survival instructions nowadays. Modern life rarely triggers true starvation conditions anymore, though. So the vault stays locked even when you're dieting hard. You can exercise constantly and still barely dent this fat. Meanwhile, fat disappears first from your face, arms, and legs. This is why the scale moves, but your waistline doesn't. Some research on eating timing has produced interesting findings. People who delayed breakfast by a few hours saw differences. Timing appeared to matter as much as total calories eaten. That idea challenges decades of conventional breakfast advice directly. It suggests when you eat may shape fat loss patterns. Visceral fat is also described as highly metabolically active. That means it interacts constantly with your bloodstream and organs. Every day it sits there, it keeps sending signals out. Those signals are tied to inflammation and long-term health risk. The longer it lingers, the more it can compound over time. Even modest weight loss can meaningfully reduce visceral fat levels, but most people never target this specific type of fat. They lose weight everywhere except the place that matters most. Understanding your morning hormones helps explain why timing counts. Shortly after waking, cortisol naturally rises in your body. This isn't stress, it's a built-in wake-up signal. Cortisol tells your body to mobilize energy for the day. It activates an enzyme that helps break down stored fat. Free fatty acids get released so tissues can use them. But this window doesn't stay open indefinitely throughout the morning. The moment food arrives, insulin rises and changes everything quickly. Insulin tells your body to stop burning and start storing. That fat-burning enzyme gets suppressed almost immediately once you eat.
This is the mistake many people make without realizing it. They wake up, cortisol rises, then breakfast arrives too soon. The natural fat-mobilizing window closes before it's fully used. A second phase follows roughly 30 minutes after waking up. Insulin sensitivity peaks and your cells become highly responsive. If no food arrives, cells look elsewhere for fuel sources. They often turn toward fat stores that are easiest to access. Visceral fat tends to be more accessible than other reserves. It has strong blood supply, making it easier to mobilize. During this phase, your liver also adjusts hormone production levels. One key hormone helps improve fat cell sensitivity and function. It supports better insulin response and mitochondrial efficiency overall. More efficient mitochondria generally support better fat-burning capacity. Hunger hormones rise later, often around 90 minutes after waking. This signals your body to keep mobilizing stored energy reserves. Feeling slightly hungry during this window isn't necessarily a problem. It may reflect ongoing fat mobilization rather than immediate danger. Movement during a fasted state can also shift cellular behavior. Mitochondria may become more efficient at using fat for fuel. Certain genes involved in fat oxidation become more active then. Over time, consistent practice can build more efficient fat metabolism. Your body may adapt to burn fat more effectively overall. Around 90 minutes to 2 hours, deeper shifts can occur. The liver may begin producing small amounts of ketones then. Muscles can start preferring fatty acids over glucose for fuel. This isn't full ketosis, but it resembles a milder version. Some researchers suggest this phase specifically favors visceral fat use. For decades, common advice pushed immediate breakfast after waking up. Eat right away, jumpstart metabolism, start the day strong. That advice was widely repeated across schools, media, and doctors. More recent research has started questioning parts of that model. Some studies compare identical calories eaten at different times of day. Timing differences sometimes produce different visceral fat outcomes. This doesn't mean calories don't matter at all anymore. It suggests timing may be an additional variable worth considering. Some research also compares fasted versus fed morning exercise sessions. Fasted exercise has been associated with certain metabolic differences. Findings vary across studies, populations, and specific research designs. It's worth noting that not all findings agree in strength. Individual results can differ based on health status and habits. Now here's what this can look like in daily practice. Right after waking, start with a full glass of water. Hydration supports circulation and helps you feel more alert quickly. A small pinch of salt can support electrolyte balance too. Next, gentle movement within the first 30 minutes helps some people. This doesn't need to be intense or exhausting exercise. A short walk outside, ideally with natural light, works well. Morning light exposure helps regulate your daily circadian rhythm. Walking also activates a calmer, more balanced nervous system state. Gentle stretching, mobility work, or light body weight movement also count. The goal is consistency, not intensity or exhausting yourself early. After movement, continuing to fast for a while is optional. Some people extend it to 90 minutes or a few hours. During this window, black coffee or plain tea are usually fine. Both contain compounds that may support fat oxidation slightly. Avoid adding calories like cream, sugar, or flavored syrups, though. Water and unsweetened herbal teas remain safe choices throughout. If you feel dizzy, shaky, or unwell, stop and eat. This process should never feel like forced suffering or deprivation. Start with a shorter fasting window and extend it gradually. Let your body adjust naturally over several weeks of practice.
When you do eat, prioritize protein as your first food. Eggs, fish, chicken, or turkey help stabilize blood sugar well. Protein also helps protect muscle mass during any fat loss phase. Healthy fats come next, supporting hormone production and satiety levels. Avocado, olive oil, nuts, and similar sources work well here. Fiber-rich vegetables round out a balanced first meal nicely. Leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables support digestion and nutrient intake. Try to avoid starting your first meal with refined sugar. Simple carbohydrates early can spike insulin and blunt fat-burning momentum. If you include carbs, eating them later in the meal helps. A first meal might include eggs, avocado, and sautéed spinach, or grilled salmon with roasted vegetables and a drizzle of oil. The exact combination matters less than the overall balanced pattern. Protein, healthy fat, and fiber together create lasting fullness. Now it's worth pausing on something important before continuing further. If your body has been protecting this fat, that's not failure,
It's not laziness, broken willpower, or poor genetics either. Your body used the tools available to it for survival. Understanding this can shift how you relate to your body. This approach also isn't appropriate for every single person, though. If you have diabetes or blood sugar issues, talk to a doctor first. Fasting can affect blood sugar and medication needs significantly. Never adjust medication or fasting habits without professional guidance first. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, your nutritional needs are different. Consistent fuel throughout the day matters more during this time. This approach isn't appropriate during pregnancy or active breastfeeding periods. If you have a history of disordered eating, proceed with extreme caution. Fasting-style approaches can sometimes trigger unhealthy patterns for some people. Working with a therapist or specialist is strongly recommended here. Your mental health always matters more than any fat loss goal. If your medication requires food, follow your doctor's specific instructions. Some medications must be taken with meals for safety reasons. Children and teenagers should not follow fasting-style eating approaches. Growing bodies need consistent nutrition throughout each day reliably. This information is intended for adults making informed personal choices. If you have low blood pressure, extended fasting deserves extra caution. Speak with your doctor before making significant changes here. People with autoimmune conditions may respond differently to fasting approaches. Some feel better, others may feel worse. Individual results vary. For most healthy adults, this is about timing, not deprivation. It's about working with natural rhythms instead of against them. Beyond any single morning, consistency may support broader metabolic flexibility. Modern eating patterns often keep glucose as the primary fuel source. Practicing fasted mornings occasionally may help diversify fuel source flexibility. Over weeks, some people report steadier energy throughout the day, fewer sharp hunger spikes, and fewer afternoon energy crashes, too. Visceral fat is often described as particularly responsive to lifestyle changes. Because it's metabolically active, consistent habits may influence it meaningfully. Results tend to build gradually rather than appearing overnight suddenly. Most people report noticing changes somewhere around the 4-week mark. Sleep and stress management matter just as much as morning timing. Poor sleep and chronic stress can undermine even consistent habits. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep nightly. Manage stress through walking, breathing exercises, or activities you enjoy. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated in ways that aren't helpful. Combining morning habits with good sleep creates a stronger foundation. If you try this, consider starting gradually over several weeks.
Week 1. Simply delay breakfast by about 1 hour only. Notice how your energy and hunger actually feel during this time. Week 2. Extend slightly further and continue observing your response. Week 3. Add gentle movement during your fasting window if comfortable. Week 4. Extend toward 2 to 3 hours if it feels sustainable. Beyond that, let your own body guide further adjustments naturally. Consistency matters far more than pushing for extreme fasting windows. A moderate approach done regularly outperforms an extreme approach done rarely. Track how you feel rather than obsessing over the scale daily. Scale weight fluctuates for many reasons, unrelated to fat loss. Give any new approach several weeks before judging its effectiveness. Your body needs time to adjust hormonally and metabolically overall. Ultimately, this is about working with your biology, not fighting it. Small, sustainable morning habits may support better long-term outcomes. Pair them with good sleep, movement, and stress management consistently. That combination, done patiently, tends to matter more than any single trick.